He was hunted down and chased down the streets and shot in the back while running away. That's what brings me here, because there's no reason, there's no justification, there's absolutely senseless where anybody thinks that they have the right to kill our children in our neighborhood and think they're going to get away with it.
If it's love, I want everything. Touch my soul, touch my heart, don't judge my mental. They told me that life is simple, been real since Papa Pimple. I started out in the Randall Sonata, the presidential. Speak once and listen twice, they told me that less is simple.
What's good, GATV family? What's good? What's good? What's good? It's gravitating away, and I'm bringing an unfortunate one. Now, China Mac, where you at? All of this Asian crime bill talk, proud to be Asian, Asians being harassed. Everyone looked at Charleston White like he was foolish when he was calling out the obvious Asian hate towards black people. You guys can pretend that's not a thing. I tell you guys this constantly. Just like you worry about white supremacy, I can think of a few Hispanic folks, particularly of the Spaniard descent, that are more racist than that so-called white boy in America. And even more so, that Asian that doesn't even think you're human. China Mac, where you at? In fact, FBA, where you at? Because according to you, the 3% of immigrants in this country and their descendants, which represents 3% in America, are the problem towards black Americans. Where you at, FBA? Spending all this time on foolishness and you forget your real enemies. Now, with heartache, I'm to report on Sunday around 8 p.m. a young man, a child, 14 years old, Cyrus Carmack-Belton, went into a store in Columbia, South Carolina. He was confronted by an Asian owner who accused him of shoplifting. He didn't even shoplift anything, by the way, because there's no evidence of it, especially because the cops did their due diligence and went through the camera footage. Now, let's just say hypothetically, the 14-year-old was stealing. What did he steal? Hypothetically speaking, of course, was water. Of all the things you could think kid is a baby goat, a child could steal, a person in general could steal, the young man took water, allegedly. Now, is that something you shoot somebody over? Much less a 14-year-old child? Now, the police are saying that they're confident that this was done in a manner that is now classified as a homicide. It's a good thing they charged the store owner with murder. Now, I'd like to say, what about his son? Because his son also ran out there and said the young man allegedly had a weapon. And this is the thing. Again, let's just say he had a weapon. Did he point it at you? Did he try to use it at you? Mind you, he's running away and they shot him in the back. Now, while I'm cool with the fact that the police charged the man with murder, had that been one of their own in the same similar fashion, I'm sure that would have been swept under the rug. But I digress. China Mac, where you at? You said Charleston White was bugging. And a lot of you so-called black folks of the FBA persuasion, might I add, especially from New York, y'all rather had side with a China Mac when the only thing he proved in correlation with black folks is that he's in the hip hop community. This is why the other day I had a video saying rap culture is black culture. And you have let so many infiltrators come in to the detriment that now so-called groups like ADOS, FBA are worried about so-called black immigrants. Well, the God I believe always wakes people up. You forgot who your real enemies were. You got comfortable getting fat on massa's crumbs. Now, unfortunately, Cyrus will be plastered all over the news for race tensions. The Asian crime bill was approved with the quickness. And how long have black people have been living in perpetuity in this here US of A? But you're worrying about black immigrants. Black immigrants. Now, here's how I feel about this truly. I wasn't surprised at the vitriol that an Asian man could take to a young black man. I was never surprised by that. What I was surprised by is that the same manner of which the news picked up on this was not the same as, oh, I don't know, a couple of black kids going around messing with random people, and they isolated it as targeting of Asians. They spearheaded an Asian crime bill. The left, that is, your Democrats that you love to vote for every day, pushed it as blacks versus Asians, when that couldn't have been far from the truth. I told you guys this a while ago. Those folks do not rock with y'all. They don't. For every one you can find that might tolerate us, I can find you 10 or more that despise you and won't even look you in your eyes. Going to their restaurants, going into their stores. Immediately there's tension. But some of you are too gullible or unaware to pick up on that. I always do, and I go out the other way. I don't got time for that. But China Mac, while he's all up in FBA, y'all say y'all house, right? That towards any other black people that has immigrated here, you're quick to say we're in your house. Well, born and raised right here in the US, I've seen enough. I've seen how black people keep a closed mouth when things don't go their way. See, when you saw that Asian crime bill pass through, everyone should have said, you know what? We made a mistake voting for Biden. Not me. I don't go left. You guys should have said, wow, this is how they feel about us, that the Asians will get a crime bill before we do, with all the lynching and all the terrorist activities we've gone through by the hands of this American government and its so-called Caucasian citizens. No. Instead, you have little op groups like the FBA. Thank God most of my black brothers and sisters do not subscribe to that mentality. But nonetheless, you got groups like that pushing a xenophobic agenda when you forgot who your enemies were. Now, Cyrus, unfortunate, 14 years old, man. I got a son that's 15. How could you not wake up already? And you're going to go to those election booths and still vote Democrat. Vote for a Biden who was just falling again the other day, incompetent seemingly. You're going to vote for him when the first thing he did, or rather said when he took oath in office, it said, my priority is the LGBTQ community. A community that most of you blacks who are a part of that, trust me, that is not your home. And they make it clear to you. So even when you're a gay black man, gay black woman, your so-called Caucasian gay counterparts don't view you equal either. In fact, if I was a betting man, I'm willing to put money on it that they view you worse than your so-called white supremacists. Cyrus Carmack-Belton. Remember that name, because many times you forget that could have been your son, my son. But y'all let these China Macs of the world run around, and because he can make ties to hip hop, now he's accepted in the black community. This is why you gotta put your foot on their necks, anybody involved with this rap culture, because it has been misinformed as black culture. That's why I'm preaching so hard against it. That now everybody that can rap to a rhythm, that can subscribe to being hip hop, you think they're your friends. But China Mac, where's all that vitriol and energy you had for Charleston White? Speak on this issue, brother. Speak on this issue. And all you black talking heads complaining about inflation, high rent, high gas, you make me sick. Y'all make me sick, because the same ones complaining will go right down to that booth and vote Democrat again. You've empowered people that have already hated you. You see that Asian brother? He thought he could get away with shooting a young black man in the back, by the way, while running away for allegedly stealing water. There are few things in life that you don't sweat about if you take it as a loss. That's somebody taking food and water. Of all the things you could be upset about, this man had the audacity, an audacity that was empowered by that Asian crime bill, to go out there and felt like he was a white man. Felt like he could get away with that as a white man because, hey, I only shot, dare I say, a ninja. He was just a ninja. Sure, I'll get away with this. What does it matter that I shot him behind the back? I mean, he stole from me. Who cares if it was just water? He's a ninja. Remember, they're not even human in my eyes or yours. I'm Asian. I'm protected under the class of being a white man, like a lot of your Hispanic brothers and sisters do. Not all of y'all. Y'all subscribe to that demographic of class that we call colorism. Many of y'all subscribe to it, even within the black community. But I'm telling you, my heart really took a heavy toll reading on this, man. I ain't got no more to say. But China Mac, you and the coons that ride with you is the reason why I was pulling for Charleston White with the smoke he had for you, because I know where that was coming from. So while y'all worrying about black immigrants and this and that and being great slaves on that Democratic plantation, remember, Cyrus could have been any one of your children. The things y'all push will come back tenfold onto your children. I can promise you that. Gravitating away. Like, comment, share, subscribe. But whatever you do, don't tell me you care. Don't tell me you care and you're going to wait 2024 and go vote for a Democrat. As a matter of fact, you're going to skip all your local elections that can make real changes right in your backyards. And you're going to let them run amok with throwing at you another black Democratic mayor, a black Democratic councilman that don't do anything. And unknowingly or knowingly, y'all are not aware that they're in bed with these folks. I'm not saying the other side is any better, but could they be any worse than what you've already gone through for 80 years? 80 years. Unfortunately, Cyrus Mac is another statistic in your love affair with propaganda. Wake up already. Wake up. I'ma holla at y'all.